Thank you, Harumi. So, first order of business, I wanted to bring up a friend of mine who we've been talking for the past week or so about trying to fit him in somewhere in the spoken word stage, but he only didn't have like a full set of material to do, and so he just said, "Oh, I just got a few things." Like, okay, so if you don't have too much material to do, you may have part of my set. Please welcome a very dear friend of mine, a rather loquacious individual. I don't know if you know him or not, John Cook.
So this first poem is called Pouches. Evidently, humans began cooking with fire upwards of 780,000 years ago. They roasted this and they roasted that with lots of char, grit, and hair. It is not known when the preparation and selection of tasty morsels truly began. And as for seasoning, who can tell? Most of it would have been cooked in small pits or directly on the coals. Cooking pots and vessels show up in the archaeological record about 16,000 years ago. Spit roasting as a means for cooking, its precise introduction is not known, but the ancient Greeks and Romans certainly used this method. Sausage making appeared about 5,000 years ago. But as for the consumption and utilization of pouches, I'm here to tell you it's unknowable. As is the origin of all things and nearly anything having to do with Scotland. But this truth will not cease my search for the use of pouches and intestines and other bladder-like biological structures. Why, you may wonder? Well, why indeed, why indeed? There could be myriad reasons. From what sort of pouches and precisely what critter did they come from? Did they tie the opening, or did they just use the prototypical gorilla glue of their age? How long did they wash the pouch? Did they jam it full or leave a little bit for expansion? Since the alimentary canal of nearly all critters have similar components, it may be safe to assume that non-pouch-like structures were also used. Whether this or that was used does not matter to me. Is a truth hereabouts that somehow soothes my desire, nay mania, to know more. That is, using the pouch of any of the 333 marsupials is not only handy, but tasty. Why, you may ask? It's simple, really, because pouches are self-basting and they make their own gravy. That really just started out as a punchline that I build a joke around, or build a poem around, so I don't know if it's really a poem. Okay, so this one is called Herding Dog Thoughts. I smell them and I know where they are, and if they can say the same, who cares? They are herbivores and I am motivated and tenacious, and of course well supplied with canines and a quick muscle twitch. When they see me, they are already afraid, even though they don't really know what I am. Their confusion and their fear are my allies. I weigh about 45 pounds and they perhaps as much as 600. They can be quick for their size, but not as quick as me. As the boldest of their lot take the point and confront me, I lower my spine and tuck my ears back and track its eyes. When it enters my scope, I lunge, my canine sinking into just a bit of vicious goo. It jerks back and bellows a bit. I do relish the flavor, but more the bellow. That's right, back up and move, you fat smelly bastard. I'm now in command, and they are in full response. Each of them feels me, even though we have not met. They feel me in their center, head, and hooves. I feel them in my dog ego. It gives me both satisfaction and thirst, validation and purpose, repose and slumber. And this was in the rider in the last poetry episode or issue before that stopped happening. So this is called My Stupid Ego. It's not about me. I'm stupid in other ways. As for me, I've got it all together. My needs are all met, and I have everything. I'm young, and my education is paid for. And yet, I will walk into traffic. Can't you see that I'm on the phone or texting someone important? My people need to know what I am up to, and if I'm going out tonight. As I step in front of your car, I won't look at you because you don't know me. Besides, you have a crappier car than me, and you're on your way to work. Not me. Ha! I'm on my way to the hospital. You hit me. Me, who's got it all, advantage, opportunity, money, good lucks. As I lay here on the cold, cold pavement with my phone, God only knows where, something occurs to me. Something so pointed in truth that it even pierces through the blinding pain and numbing cold seeping into my shattered pelvis. I'm a complete moron. More stupid than all you bloody townies. Frickin' Hicks, what with your 2 good legs and complete absence of gravel ground into your face. Damn it, this pavement is really cold. Why isn't anyone helping me? I know you people saw me on my phone. Some chicks must have been checking me out. What's that? It's a squirrel darting right out into traffic. He'll get his, stupid rodent. Holy moly. The car's missed him. He made it. Jesus, I'm dumber than a damn squirrel.
Thank you, John Cook. Spark. The human body is capable of amazing feats when faced with unrelenting stress and anxiety. It can lift a car off a baby or put a bullet in the brain should the situation arise. And even realize when a house grown up in is no longer a home and toys once played with were never just toys, and it was never just playing. My wrist is a lever of love ending in a fist of bone, and I hold on like grim death. My heart is a filter that intakes the sour atmosphere my lungs inhale, turns it into blood or bile, or sinews wrapped around the red ribbon of my loose muscles to shield what's left of the egg I came from. I was there only once, and it was night, and I wasn't driving, so let's see if I can tell you how to get back. My mouth is a trap, my tongue the bait, and at the center of it all are atoms, screaming in orbits, praying to their sullen gods they never split apart. My legs are twin battering rams, sparking butterfly tsunamis with each hard soul stride, and the trees I hug are splinters in the skin of the earth, slowly sloughing off this little flake. But a gun is an extension of the fist. Just squeeze and a punch explodes. It's okay if it's only a target. The human soul contains a lifetime and just a moment more until the vessel drains and refills, drains and refills, drains and refills and spills over into other cups and pants and jar heads and so lives on. Ever pumping out the rhythm like a toy drum tattoo, never as regular as we'd hoped or as easy as a march, and never the home it seems until I'm nearly out the door. My face ends where air begins, and the tension at that last border is a breath and a snort, and a kiss, and at its end, a tame body wrapped in accumulation like an egg within its shell. But the human existence is no trap, and not nearly as structured as a game, and so becomes a catalog of sleep, where the waking mind calls body into being with mechanics while my weariness strikes hard and deep. And I do grow tired, my friends, my lovers, of these movements, of combinations of spiritual permutations, of my sleeping mind still attached to a lizard brain and base of neck, who constantly calls the quarters as if a seance were in effect. And then the table rises and knocks, and I lose the ticking of all clocks, but I never can quite tell where all the noise is coming from. So we've been having a hot time over at the Poetry on Demand tent. I'm a little red, feel a little red. If I'm not a little red, I'm feeling red. So I wanted to read one from yesterday. I actually wrote this for Blaine's father. Excuse me. Blaine's mom's boyfriend, whatever. But this is one of my favorites from yesterday. So it's called "Okay Sunshine." Okay sunshine, blasting in my face when I want shade, ruining a rainy day. Life, they say, depends on you, your unlook-at-able hue. You're no chicken, but they rise and squawk, as regular and reliable as the cricket approach at dusk as you sink beneath the horizon, slinking away like a hot villain stealing the day. So I got a brand new book. I think we're going to launch sometime in October. Is that the official launch date? Sometime in October? Yeah. But I have my copy, so I'm going to read from it anyway. I have copies of all my books with me today, so if you're interested in doing a little illicit trade over on the side of the tent over there, come see me afterward. I'm not above it. So yeah, it's called Good Job, Lightning. And this is about a guy I met at a poetry reading a long time ago. There's a lot of character sketches in this book. For some reason. But this is one about a stranger called Petey. There's only one Petey, thank God, which is good because otherwise Jesus would have to kill all the other idols, and that's a lot of blood on the hands of a mere god. Even a bolt-throwing thrill-kill god such as Zeus or one of those tentacled Sumerian guys who hates everyone and everything and one day will devour us all. Petey says hard things, meaning he has difficulty saying them. Petey could have nailed my sister, he was so hard last night, but he didn't. Instead, he read about velour, which was a mistake and a huge turnoff. My sister is into raw silk and cashmere. Petey is a yard sale gold mine. My sister just drives right on by. She says she likes his stuff. She says, I love Petey, but deep down, she doesn't mean it. And she says it several times. Petey laments killing bugs in his kitchen, but he kills them anyway. He would never hurt anyone or anything. The stomping doesn't last too long, and he is very accurate. He likes his bug-covered floor because he is above it, and because of the sound it makes under his sneakers, hard wood thumping like a drum, like a heart beating that stops when he's killed enough, when he's had his fill of killing. That's not really Petey, though. That's just me being weird, trying to make him sound more interesting than he already is, which is hard to do, but not as hard as Petey. The bugs mostly are ants, and Petey hears them scream collectively, which may be why he starts stomping again. Petey is not cruel or short-sighted, though. He is a giant, and he towers over hick poets and ants alike. There's only one Petey, thank God. I mean, how many spliced haywire clones of Woody Allen and Franz Kafka can exist in this, his perfect universe at any one time? More than one? I doubt it. That's a lot to ask of Zeus or even Cthulhu, though I'll bet he could work in a little immaculate Petey just before his big tentacle-laced Chuck Taylor with a pentagram all-star comes crashing down to the floor above us all. Boom! And that's it. Thank you. Thank you. I want to take a moment out of my short set to thank all of the MCs for keeping it down over here and really just like running the stage so that I can run the Poetry on Demand booth. And it's really, yeah, big hand for everyone because I couldn't do it without you. The first couple of years I tried being in charge of both of these things at the same time. It was dumb, it was crazy, it's bad. So here's another one from Good Job, Lightning. This is called We Could Be Heroes. In place of majestic peaks, the highest hill in the county, surrounded by cornfields. No dragon, but the dog that chased me past its yard. Bullies, ugly, misshapen trolls. I built mythology without epic tropes. A few years, not eons, not good and evil, not even farm boy turned knight. Farm adjacent in orange streetlight. My sword, Dad's pocket knife, I stole from his drawer because I deserved it, and later put it in his pocket, locked forever in his casket, armed against malevolence, snarling at the boneyard verge. Or I just got tired of carrying a grudge and saw and took my chance to bury it for good. Thank you. I want to read a couple of things from Centaur, the little book that I did with Jonathan S. Baker, and we did a tour all the way to Atlantic City and back, which was fun, but I had to do all the driving because apparently mailmen can't drive on the left side of the car, was what I was told. I don't know. He's a conspiracy theorist, and that's the conspiracy I'm going with. So, quick adjustment here. There we go. So what I've been doing when I do readings out of this book is I read two poems, one from his side, one from my side. So we split the book in half. Half horse, half man, half Jonathan, half me. What? You know the story. I'm the human half. I'm the man half. He's the horse half. So yeah, here's a couple. Yeah, so here's a couple. Here's one by Jonathan S. Baker. This is called Ed's Fire. Backwoods Ed, spraying fuel on the bonfires instead of talking to girls or boys or whatever. Never trying to get his wick wet, just standing there, staring. Flames mirrored on his thick-cut glasses, balanced on a face carved from a log of bologna, giving the fire looks the way a burning man might lust after a swimming pool. On behalf of Jonathan S. Baker, I want to thank you for your applause for that poem, which is also what I say every time I read one of Jonathan's poems out of Centaur, the book that has mythological connotations, even though there's nothing mythological about it. So I'm going to read a side turn poem, which is kind of a weird poem, but I'm going to read it anyway. So it's got a little epigram, but it's called No Shame, No Name, No Blame. Safe Haven Baby Box is a device where birth mothers can safely, securely, and anonymously surrender their babies if they cannot care for them. Mom. Somewhere silent alarms sound in threes. I forget they're automatic every time you enter me. Many tears and pep talks seduce acceptance. I don't know anymore or want to be known. The face-to-face surrender of love abandons me. I cannot breathe without waking into inescapable survival. I cannot have to do this now. Baby. Grandma's oven, a tortuous creak when the door opened. I lived that kitchen warmer than the house before I knew anything, everything, a gift, my crisis situation. Somewhere, someone keeps my footprints safe. Stay with me, stay. 3 minutes, eternity, I will not remember. The bolt slamming home, smiles and cries, reflex. It's just grandma's oven. Then the dark. Box. I know one thing, how they disappear like sugar into cake. Thoughts and prayers make problems appear to go away. I have a handle on this and lock, no second thought. A prison pass-through, employees on the inside, mom on the out. The controlled climate of last resort, built only for this, hatched love, puts forgetting into, opens and closes like a trap. Thank you. All right, I'm going to try this. Tried this. This may have gone better in the shower, but I'll give this a shot. So this is mostly about the 1798 Irish Rebellion. Mostly it's about that, but it's universal. Oh, I sat within the valley green. I sat me with my true love. My sad heart strove to choose between the old love and the new love. The old for her, the new that made me think on island dearly. While soft the wind blew down the glen, it shook the golden barley. 'Twas hard the woeful words to frame, to break the ties that bound us. but harder still to bear the weight of foreign chains around us. And so I said, the mountain that I'll seek at morning early, and join the brave united men, while soft winds shake the barley. While sad I kissed her tears, while sad I kissed away her tears, my fond arms round her flinging. The foeman's shot burst on our ears, from out the wildwood ringing. A bullet pierced my true love's side in life's young spring so early, and on my breast in blood she died, while soft winds shook the barley. I bore her to some mountain stream, and middies the summer blossom I placed with branches soft and green about her gore-stained bosom. I wept and kissed her clay-cold corpse, then rushed o'er vale and valley, my vengeance on the foe to wreak, while soft winds shook the barley. But blood for blood without remorse I've taken at Ullard Hollow, and laid my true love's clay-cold corpse where I full soon may follow. As round her grave I wander drear noon, night, and morning early, with breaking heart whene'er I hear the wind that shakes the barley. Thank you. Too long for that. Let's see, what's a good closer? That's a pretty good closer. But I'll do, I had like a big epic plan, but I don't think there's quite time for that. So I'm gonna do one more out of here. What's a good one out of here? Yeah, we'll do, oh no, I couldn't do that. I couldn't think of it. Oh, we'll do this one because this is kind of a Bloomington thing. Excuse me. I got kind of choked up with that one. So this is called The Dalai Lama Turned 70. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all coming out of the heat. The Dalai Lama turned 70, and Bloomington is teeming with monks. Across oceans and mountains they come, to great walls of cornfields. Maroon robes signify limitless clarity only knowing minds can conceive. Brown, creaky leather loafers, black socks elevated to mid-calf by samsara. Moving among merciless children and wandering hungry ghosts of earth, they converge on greeting cards at Target, frowning, furrowing their golden heads, erupting with belly laughs reserved for such profane aisles, considering each card whether His Holiness will get the joke, and moving on to another, perhaps more perfect birthday blessing. Thank you.